going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to start a new series on our channel where we're going to start reviewing some of the cars that I've driven and that I've owned. So this is my 1994 Chevrolet Corvette, and in today's video, guys, I'm going to be telling you some things that I like about this car, some things that I don't really like. I'm going to be comparing it to some of the older versions of the C4 Corvette, and I'm going to be telling you guys some things that are like some problem issues on these cars that I've experienced. This is my second Corvette that I've owned of this generation, and I'll let you guys know some things to look out for when you're looking to buy one of these cars. So let's start up by looking under the hood. We'll fire this engine up. It's powered by the 1994, had the LT1. They had the LT1 from 92 to 96, and then before that they had the L98, and then they even had crossfire injection in the earliest models. But they made this car from 1984 to 96. I have the LT1 automatic. It's pumping out about 300 horsepower. The only really problem area on the engine that a lot of people complain about is the OptiSpark. The 92 to 96 had the OptiSpark, which basically the only problem happens is when that gets wet, it usually needs to get replaced eventually. And people make a big deal about the OptiSpark on these cars, but in reality, it's not that hard to fix out. One thing that I do love about this is the saw blade wheels. They had the saw blades from around 91 to 96, and they're my favorite wheels. A lot of people like to destroy the value of these cars and literally put different wheels on them, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I personally like the stock wheels. That's personally my thing. One of the favorite parts about this car is the pop-up headlights. Super cool, gets a lot of attention, and that's one of my favorite parts about the cars. A lot of things, the headlights are not that bright on this car, so something that you do need to do is like you need to clean these off, because at night it is a little bit hard to see. Sand them down a little bit, get like all the bugs off them, but that is something that I've noticed. And if you guys have this, obviously I drove down here 1,200 miles, so it's kind of filthy, but the front bumper, like the license plate cover, keep that on, because without it, it ruins the whole appearance of the car, in my opinion. You can get away with driving with a rear plate only, even if it's not legal in your state. Trust me, I've been pulled over about 7 or 8 times in this car, and never did they mention it once. One thing that I don't like about this car, first thing that I do not like, we'll go under the hood again. It's a minor gremlin, but the location of the battery. The battery is right here. So getting this thing out and changing it, you have to take off this, unloosen a bunch of bolts on the undercarriage, and then you have to like get like the right size socket to literally cram it in here and get it fixed up. So I had an issue with the side post terminal where this screw, it's like an older car, so you have to put it through the side of these batteries. And that's something that I had an issue with, and it seems like Corvette and batteries don't get along with me. That's been something that I had an issue on my other one, and something that I had on this one. All right, going inside, something that you guys need to look out for, this is a big thing here, is this steering column right here. When you're looking on one of these cars, you want to like shake this and make sure it's not like super loose. So the issue with these cars is, as you can see here, it kind of has this high brim right here, and it kind of has a low clearance. A lot of these Corvette owners are a lot older, and they might be overweight, and they can't get in this car. So what they'll do is they'll literally grab the steering wheel with all their weight, and that will wreck the steering column. So that's something that was on my old car that was kind of a big issue, where the steering was all super loose, and it's something that I wasn't really looking out for when I first bought that car. So you want to get in this car. The key is you want to throw your foot in here. You want to put your hand like right here. You don't touch the steering wheel, and then you slide here. You don't want to do one of these things where you just slide your butt across, because then you'll rip the upholstery a little bit. Another thing to look out for is the windows. So let me roll up this window. Something that is a minor problem on this car is, as you can see, the window, it's propped up by about 4 bolts right here. So this gets a little bit shaky, as you can see. So what I have to do is I have to push this forward, because if I don't, it will go over the target top right here, and it will actually scratch the paint right here. So that's something to look out for. It's not a big issue. You just have to roll the window down to like just a tick, and then to shut it, I just put that up, and then I have to like pull that. So not a big deal, but it's something to like look out for. And you can kind of see on the other side, you can kind of see there the window is over the target top. So it'll kind of do one of these. So you want that to be tucked in, and it's just something to look into. It's not an important issue, but it's something that you might want to consider and point out if you're trying to get this car at a discount. And if you notice that issue, you can kind of point it out, and the seller might sell it for a little less. Another thing that I don't like about this car, compared to the 91 and the 92 and the 93, is the seats. So starting in 1994, they changed the seat style. They made them a little bit wider and a little bit more sporty, or less sporty. So the other ones had like bucket seats where they were a lot tighter, and it just felt like you were more in the driving experience with that kind of car. Another thing that changed in 1994 with these cars is they got rid of the glove box. So in all the other Corvettes, the 91, when they got to this new interior style, they basically had a center console or a glove box so you could put all your keys or whatever, and basically you don't have any storage now, because in 1994, basically the US, they required their airbag regulations changed, and they had to have more safety. A common misconception is that these cars have no storage space. I shoved a lot of crap in here. I got a whole suitcase, I got a bag, I got another bag, I got food and crap, and if you remove this, show you right here, this actually lifts up. But the center cap thing actually lifts up there, but you actually have a little bit more storage down there. You have like a little cubby to store stuff, so that's nice as well. Another thing to look out for is the weather stripping. So a lot of times this stuff will get old and ripped up, so it's important here and important here. So you kind of want to make sure that that's in good condition, because if it's not sticking or if it's kind of ripped up, you will get water into the car. And another thing that I do like is I like the glass tops a lot better. So you can get the color match transparency tops, or color match cars, so you can get like a red top for this. I personally just love the glass top, and this is removable. There's a bolt up here above the sun visor, another one there, and then there's 3 bolts back here. You want to do the big one in the middle, but you just remove those 4 bolts, and you can get a special torque wrench for removing that. Overall, my final takeaways: the C4 Corvette, it does have some issues. It's hard to get into. It is a 30-year-old car. So no matter how much money you spend on one of these cars, it's a 30-year-old car. You could buy one for 25 grand that has like maybe 10,000 miles on it, and you're still going to have to spend money in maintenance, and you're going to have to spend a lot of money doing repairs, because even if it's in mint condition, still things are going to go wrong because it is an older car. So don't buy it if you're not prepared to spend money. Don't buy it if you're trying to flip it. The market for these cars right now, it's kind of in a valley of depreciation is what it's called. So, right, it's not old enough to be worth enough to be a classic car, but it's also too old to be a practical daily car where a lot of people are going to drive it. And a lot of people that are older that want a Corvette, they are going to want something that's a little bit more expensive and a little bit nicer. Like, it's not rare enough to be worth anything, but it's also not old enough, and it's also not new enough and modern to demand a high price bargain. Now, with that being said, the good news is you can pick up one of these for very cheap. This is a car that I picked up for $6,500, right? That's a steal of a deal in my opinion. It's underappreciated. For $6,500, you're not going to find a sports car that will get you more bang for your buck than this car. So overall, I love these cars. For my buying advice is like, not settle for a car that you don't like, that's not kind of your specificity. So for me personally, I don't like the steering wheel on this car. I don't like the seats as well. The interior, I'm not really a fan of compared to the 92 and 93. And I personally like the 40-year anniversary edition the best. So the 93 40-year anniversary is my favorite car. So the next one I buy is going to be a 93 40-year anniversary. If you want an automatic, don't buy a manual. If you want some sort of special edition, these cars aren't rare yet where you can kind of be picky and kind of have a checklist, because these cars aren't investments. And don't buy it if you don't actually want it, and if you're actually like looking to flip. But overall, I think the best years are the 92 to 96s. They kind of got better every single year. If you're looking for the manuals, the LT4 1996 is probably the best car. But me personally, I like the 93 the best. That's my favorite year. But comment down below if you have bought in a Corvette and what you like about this car. Is it underrated? I think it's the best bargain sports car of all time. I'm biased because I've had 2 of them, but for $6,500, you can't get much more car than this, in my opinion. It turns a lot of heads, it goes fast, it looks nice, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to drive. It's literally like the last Corvette that feels like you're driving a go-kart with a 500 horsepower engine. It's only 300 horsepower, but it's so sleek, it's nimble, it has like a super rough suspension. This is actually a ZR1, so the suspension's like extra firm, but It's super fun, and I totally think you should buy one if you have the opportunity to, if it's your thing. But next video, we're going to be reviewing a BMW, a 2015 BMW 328i, I think. That's what it's called. We already filmed that video, and that'll be after this one, but that'll be the next car review that I did. Stay tuned, guys. Signing out. I'll catch you all in the next video.